Today we discuss problems of continuity and we will define what is differentiability. So first we take examples of continuity. Example: discuss the continuity of the following functions: a f of x equal to sin x plus cos x, b f of x equal to sin x minus cos x, and c f of x equal to sin x into cos x. Solution: there are three different problems. First one, we have to prove sin x plus cos x. We have to discuss continuity of sin x plus cos x. Second one, sin x minus cos x, and third one, sin x into cos x. To solve this one, we will use the properties of algebra of continuity. So if we take a belongs to R, arbitrary, any real number, and we will prove, though we know sin and cos both are continuous on R, as we know the properties of continuities of some well-known functions. So it is clear that sin x and cos x both are continuous on R. To prove this thing, we take a belongs to R arbitrary, take g of x equal to sin x, and we take h of x equal to cos x. We will prove that both are g and sin both are continuous at a belongs to R. So first let us prove g of x equal to sin x is continuous on R. Take g of x equal to sin x equal to, we take a plus h. So as x tends to a implies h will tends to 0. It is obvious. Again, we take x equal to a plus h. So as x tends to a, you take x equal to a, so a cancels. So ultimately we can say that h tends to 0. G of x equal to sin x therefore g of a equal to sin a. Take x equal to a. Now limit x tends to a, g of x equal to limit x tends to a, g of x sin x, but we have taken x equal to a plus h. So first we take x as it is, g of x equal to sin x. Now limit x tends to a, sin, take x equal to a plus h. So as x tends to a, h will tends to 0. Now we use formula of limit h tends to 0 sin a cos h, sin a cos h plus cos a sin h, using the formulas of sin of alpha plus beta. It's expansion sin a cos h plus cos a sin h. Now h tends to 0, cos 0 1. So this is sin a into 1 plus cos a, put h equal to 0, sin 0 0. So 0 into cos a, that is 0. So this is sin a. Sin a, it is nothing but g of a, and a belongs to R, you note that. Thus limit x tends to a, g of x equal to g of a, and therefore g of x equal to sin x is continuous at x equal to a, where a belongs to R. Similarly, you can prove that for h of x equal to cos x, you can prove that limit limit x tends to a, h of x equal to h of a. Again you replace x by a plus h, and as x tends to a will implies h tends to 0. By exactly same method you can prove limit x tends to a, h of x equal to h of a. Therefore g of x equal to sin x and h of x equal to cos x are continuous on R. So we know the property, if f and g are continuous, if f and g are continuous, f and g continuous, then f plus minus g and f into g, f into g are continuous. So using this, therefore f of x equal to sin x plus cos x, f of x equal to sin x minus cos x, and f of x equal to sin x into cos x, all are continuous using these properties, are continuous on R. We take next example. discuss the continuity of example. Discuss the continuity of f of x equal to f of x equal to 2x if x less than 0, its value is 0, if 0 less than or equal to x, less than or equal to 1, and 4x if x greater than 1. So discuss the continuity of this function. So at which point you note that here from the definition junction points are 0. So specially we will check continuity for 0. Similarly at 1, then we take a belongs to R arbitrary, and we will check the continuity for a less than 0 and a greater than 1. Also in the case of 0 less than or equal to a less than or equal to 1. So total 5 cases are there. You note that. First we will check continuity for 0. 0 here you can observe, you can call it as a junction point. Similarly at 0, at 1, 0, 1 in the closed interval 0 to 1, and then we take, say here on a real line, this is 0, this is 1. Now we will take by taking a less than 0, and we will check the continuity by taking a greater than 1. So ultimately on entire set of real number we will discuss the continuity. So case 1, case 1, A, we have taken a belongs to R and a less than 0. So f of x for a less than 0, f of x 2x, x equal to a less than 0 case. So f of a, it is 2a, limit x tends to a, f of x equal to limit x tends to a, f of x 2x from the definition of function. Now put x equal to a, so this is 2a, this is nothing but f of a. Thus for a less than 0, limit x tends to a, f of x equal to f of a, and therefore for a less than 0, f is continuous. Now we take case 2. Case 2, at a equal to 0. We will check the continuity at a equal to 0. So f of 0, from the definition you can observe f of 0 is 0 limit x tends to 0 minus f of x, that is left hand side limit. So this is limit x tends to 0 minus, x tends to 0 minus, so x is less than 0, so this is 2x. We give reason x tends to 0 minus, so left hand side limit x is less than 0, so value of the function f of x equal to 2x. Now put x equal to 0, so this is 0, say result 1, 2. Also limit x tends to 0 plus f of x, limit x tends to 0 plus, so again we give not x tends to 0 plus right hand side limit, so x is greater than 0, x is greater than 0, in that case value of the function x greater than 0, value of the function is 0. And it's a limiting position, so it is very near to 0, so no need to think about x greater than 1, so value is 0. That is 0, this limit is 0, say result number 3, from 1, 2 and 3 limit x tends to 0 minus, that is left hand side limit, equal to right hand side limit equal to f of 0, and therefore f is continuous at x equal to 0. So function is continuous at x equal to 0. Now we consider case 3, 0 less than or equal to. Again you note that function is continuous in the case 1, it is continuous, f is continuous for a less than 0, it is continuous at x equal to 0. Now we consider case 3, 0 less than or equal to 1. So what is f of a? In this case f of a 0. You can observe from the definition of the function, you can check the definition, value is 0. Now limit x tends to a, in this case limit x tends to a, f of x equal to limit x tends to a, f of x, in this case value of the function is 0, because case is 0 less than a less than 1, equal to 0, but this is nothing but f of a, this is nothing but f of a. Therefore f is continuous f is on close interval 0, 1. Now we consider case 4. We check the continuity at x equal to 1. We'll check the continuity at x equal to 1. So we consider the case a equal to 1. So limit here x tends to a plus, right hand side limit x tends to a plus, value of the function 4x. You check the definition for x greater than 1, value of the function is 4x. So 4x, now put x equal to 1, 4, limit x tends to a minus, left hand side limit. So limit x tends to a minus. So a equal to 1. So x is less than 1 case, x less than 1, value of the function is 0. So this is 0. Again, for our understanding, x tends to a minus implies x is less than a, where we have taken a equal to 1. So value of the function from the definition, it is 0. This is for our understanding. So equal to 0, this is not equal to 4. So you can observe, therefore limit x tends to a plus, right hand side limit not equal to left hand side limit x tends to a minus f of x, and therefore f is not continuous at x equal to 1. And finally we take case 5, a greater than 1, a greater than 1. So if a greater than 1, what is f of a? From the definition, f of x equal to 4x. So f of a equal to 4a, limit x tends to a, f of x equal to limit x tends to a, value of the function, our a is greater than 1, so value of the function 4x, take x equal to a, 4a, so it is nothing but f of a. Thus for a greater than 1, limit x tends to a, f of x equal to f of a, and therefore for a greater than 1, for a greater than 1, f is continuous. Now we will define, next time we discuss more problems of continuity. First we will define derivative of a function. So in this we will discuss what is differentiability. So suppose f is a real function and C be a point in its domain. The derivative of f at C is defined by limit h tends to 0 f of C plus h minus f of C upon h, provided this limit exists. So suppose f is a real function and C be a point in its domain. The derivative of f at C is defined by, if this limit exists, then we denote this by f prime C. This we denote by f prime C, derivative of f, or we denote d by dx of f of x at x equal to C. And when we say that this limit exists, so here it is clear that this limit exists means limit h tends to 0 plus right hand side limit should exist, left hand side limit should exist, and both must be equal. So this is definition of derivative of f at point C. In short, we also denote f dash x equal to, we can also write f dash x limit h tends to 0 f of x plus h minus f of x upon h. You can also consider this one. The process of finding derivative of a function is called differentiation. The process of finding derivatives of a function is called differentiation. So here you note that from this, what is f dash 0? You can observe, take x equal to 0, then f dash 0 means limit h tends to 0 f of h, take x equal to 0, so f of h minus f of 0 upon h, f dash 0, take x equal to 0. Now important results, algebra of derivatives. Algebra of derivatives. Let u and v be two differentiable function of x, then we'll remember this result. One, u plus minus v dash, it is u dash plus minus v dash. As for example, d by dx of sin x plus cos x, so it is d by dx of sin x using this formula, d by dx of cos x, plus then plus, minus then minus. So first result. Second, product rule, uv prime or uv dash. So this is also known as product rule or Leibniz rule. U dash into v plus u into v dash. First into, you can also remember this one as first into derivative of second plus second into derivative of first. This is known as Leibniz rule or product rule. As for example, suppose d by dx of x into sin x. Consider this one as u, this one as v. So you can remember it as u into derivative of v plus v into derivative of u. In short, you can remember like this: u, that is x, or first into derivative of second plus second into derivative of first function. This is u into derivative of v plus v into derivative of u. So this is nothing but x derivative of sin x cos x, sin x d by dx of x, that is 1. So this is using product rule, or also it is known as Leibniz rule. First into derivative of second plus second into derivative of first, or u into v, u into derivative of v plus v into derivative of u. We can take another example. For example, evaluate d by dx of x square into tan x. So we use these two formula: d by dx of x raised to n, nx raised to n minus 1, d by dx of tan x, derivative of tan x, sec square x. So consider this one as u, this one as v, u into derivative of v, so x square into d by dx of tan x, u into derivative of v plus v into derivative of u, tan x into d by dx of x square. Now use these two formula. Again, u, that is x square, into derivative of v, that is tan x, plus tan x into derivative of first one, that is u, that is x square. So now as it is, x square derivative of tan x sec square x plus tan x d by dx of x square to x. Now we take third result. Third result, u by v dash. So you can remember this one as a quotient rule. So v into derivative of u, v into u prime minus u into v prime upon v square upon v square. This is quotient rule. Here we have given denominator not equal to 0, v not equal to 0. So u by v prime, v into derivative of u, that is u dash, minus u into derivative of v, v dash upon v square. So you can remember denominator into derivative of numerator minus numerator into derivative of denominator upon square of the denominator. For example, we take d by dx of 10x. Let us evaluate, for example, d by dx of 10x. So this is nothing but d by dx of sin x upon cos x. So v, that is denominator, cos x into derivative of numerator sin x minus numerator into derivative of denominator cos x upon square of the denominator. Again say, this is u, this is v. So v into derivative of u prime, so denominator cos x into derivative of numerator sin x minus sin x into, that is numerator into derivative of denominator upon square of the denominator. Now we know formula d by dx of 10x, just here it is sec square x, so we know result should be sec square x. Let us simplify. Derivative of sin x cos x, so cos x into cos x cos square x, derivative of cos x minus sin x, so minus minus plus sin x into sin x sin square x upon cos square x. So again derivative of sin x cos x into cos x, so it is cos square x. Here d by dx of cos x minus sin x, so minus minus plus sin x into sin x sin square x. So numerator it is identity, cos square plus sin square 1 upon cos square x, so this is sec square x. So d by dx of 10x, so it is sec square x. Similarly you can try d by dx of cot x equal to minus cos x square x. You try these three results. First one, second, d by dx of sec x, it is sec x into 10x, and third one, d by dx of cosec x minus cosec x into cot x. Easily you can obtain d by dx of cosec x. So this is d by dx of cos x means 1 upon sin x. Consider this one as u, this one as v, and use quotient rule, v into derivative of u minus u into derivative of v upon v square, and divide each term by v square. You can get d by dx of cosec x equal to minus cosec x into cos x. So this is sin x into d by dx of 1 1 d by dx of upon v square. This is constant, so derivative is 0. So derivative, this term is 0 because d by dx of 1 is 0. D by dx of sin x cos x, so minus cos x upon sin square x, that is sin x into sin x. This is cot x, 1 upon sin x cos x, so this is minus cosec x into cot x. So similarly you can obtain remaining two results. Now we note result 1. Result 1, important result. If a function f is differentiable, if a function f is differentiable at a point C, then it is also continuous at that point. If a function f is differentiable at a point C, then it is also continuous at that point, that is at point C. So in short, you can say that every differentiable function is continuous. Every differentiable function is continuous. Converse of the statement need not be true. Converse of the above statement need not be true. Need not be so if f is differentiable, then no need to prove continuity of the function. Every differentiable function is continuous. But if it is continuous, then you can't say that it is always differentiable. It may be differentiable or it may not be differentiable. So in future we will discuss this example by taking f of x equal to mod x, then it will be a continuous at x equal to 0, but it is not differentiable at x equal to 0. So in simple result, every differentiable function is continuous, and converse of the above statement need not be true.